A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to the second part of fourth lesson in which we are studying al, which is the Arabic equivalent of the English article the. Alright, so before we begin, we'll ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this journey of ours and to help us out. So, Rabbi Yassir wala tu'assir wa tammim bil khair, and Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Okay, Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. So let's begin with this. Let's begin with the second part. In the first part, which was lesson 4a, we did the conversion of a simple ism nakra to ism marfa, okay, via al. So for example, we have the word khairun, khairun, and if we add al to it, it becomes al khairi. Okay, I'm sorry, al khairu and al khairu, al khairu. So and over here you see we have al khairi. It's actually bil khairi, but I'll tell you what has actually happened here. But this is where I got the example from right now. So al khairu is the rafa form of khairun, and al khairi is the jar form of khairin. All right, so what is this lesson going to be about? Well, we stopped our discussion earlier on at a special example, and that was a shay e, okay, or a shayu. So we ignored this lam sound and we connected alif directly, or rather we connected this hamza directly to this sheen. Okay, we are going to study why that has happened. So let's begin with this lesson, and I've named this lesson as Lam silencing capability of some letters. So you see, in Arabic we're going to find some letters that whenever they are connected next to this al, um, this lam gets silent, and this alif, or rather the hamza, it gets connected directly to the first letter of this word. Okay, so this is a capability of some letters, and in relation to only this al. Okay, and that is what we are going to study in this chapter. All right, so we have this thing here. So al waqi'atu, and we have the al sound, we have the la sound here. Okay, so we have al waqi'atu, and here we have only ash-shay'u, so there is no la sound. Okay, and a very common example for this is assalamu alaikum, that we say every time, every day. And notice how we do not say al salamu alaikum, we say assalamu alaikum. Okay, first of all, we need to see why does this happen, what is the rationale behind this. So the rationale is simple. Every language tends to have some some way of making the speech easy and fluent. Okay, so that we don't have to stick too much. Okay, and the speech should flow fluently and smoothly. Some examples in English are mentioned here. Okay, so let's go to them. So I have to go, or I got to go. This became gotta go. Want to sleep, it became wanna sleep. Let me know became let me know. Out of frying pan became out of frying pan. So, and then we have I'm going to study. Okay, that became first I'm gonna study, and then further it got contracted to I'm a study. Okay, so what are these things? These are just there's no grammatical significance to it. All right, yes, you cannot write these contractions in your formal letters. Okay, yes, you cannot do that. But these are more of the verbal tradition. Okay, so similarly we have cup of tea that became kappa tea, and then now it's simply kappa. Okay, similarly we have piece of cake becomes the f gets silent, and we have piece of cake. All right, so I hope the rationale is quite clear to you. And in Arabic, you're going to find many instances while we are doing the grammar where this smooth flow of speech has been taken into the account by the Arabs. And due to this, for the sake of this smoothness, they have they have devised some rules that directly apply to Arabic. And one of the examples directly apply to the Arabic grammar. So, and one of the examples is Assalamu alaikum. And the other examples related to this topic that we're going to cover right now. So we have Assalamu alaikum and not Al Salamu alaikum, because even if you try to say it that way, it doesn't sound too easy. It doesn't. This lam sound in the middle gives a bit of barrier to it, because I tried it a couple of times to say Al Salamu, and it just didn't feel too good. I mean, I'd rather say Assalamu alaikum than say Al Salamu alaikum. And I hope that if you try it and say it that way, you'll also find this fact that Assalamu alaikum is way easier than Al Salamu, or Ash-shay'u is way better than Al Shay'u. Okay, so that's the reason we're going to study this thing, inshallah. So let's get right into it. And I've made a nice little decent table over here which says Lam silencing capability of some letters. Some letters have this capability while others do not. And we're going to study this one. So this one would be done automatically. Okay, so let's proceed with this. All right. So there are 14 letters in Arabic that do not possess this capability, and so far we have been practicing with those letters. So al-kitabu, al-haqqu, al-baytu, al-waqi'atu. Okay, all these letters are the ones that have not silenced the lam sound of al. Okay, so uh, these examples are quite familiar to us already. All right, now we just need to know what are those 14 letters. We have ha'un, qafun, kafun, alifun, khafun, wawun, faun, ainun, jimun, ba'un. Okay, this has to be ghain, so ghainun, then mimun, ha'un, and ya'un. Now this is uh these are the 14 letters. Okay, and what the what some senior Arabic teachers from Pakistan have done is that they have devised an acronym. I don't know if it's too common in the West yet or not, but here, when I was studying Arabic from Ustad Amir Sohail, who is a teacher, who is a student of Dr. Abdul Sami, and Dr. Abdul Sami is also the teacher of Ustad Nauman Ali Khan. Anyways, so well, he gave me this mnemonic in one of his videos. So it's haq ka khauf ajab gham hai. Now notice in Urdu we have bari ye, okay, but in Arabic we do not have bari ye, but we have choti ye, which is ya'un. So it's technically choti ye over here, but just for the sake of remembering this mnemonic or this sentence, we have the bari ye attached to it. But I've written the actual year over here. Okay, so once again, we have the 14 letters. These 14 letters have been arranged in this mnemonic, or acronym rather, because we have haq, ka, khawf, ajab, gham hai. Okay, so I hope if you remember this mnemonic, this acronym, then it is going to make your life so much easy. Okay, so I would rather ask you to memorize this Hakka Khauf Ajab Gham Hai, because whenever you see an example, as we'll cover in the later on in this chapter, then you're going to have to run that letter, the first letter of those words, of those examples, numerous times through this mnemonic check. Okay, so if a letter is in this list, is in this acronym or mnemonic, then obviously it is not going to silence the lam of al. But if that letter, for example sheen, we cannot see any sheen over here, can we? uh okay, so we cannot see any sheen or any seen, all right, or any zal, right, or any zay, so we cannot see these letters over here. So that means these letters form in this category. So apart from, other than these 14 letters, all the others fall in this category that have this capability to silence the lam of al. So that was all. All right, so just a couple of terminologies over here. These letters, the ones that do not do not make the lam of al silent, are called qamari letters. Okay, that's the norm in studying Arabic and Arabic books. So these are the qamari letters, and that is because they have taken this qaf from here, and they say that so this group technically, okay, so this group that does not possess this lam silencing capability is called qamari letter, or the qamari group. All right, so these qamari group, these letters which are in the qamari group, do not have this capability. On the other hand, this group is called Shamsi group. Okay, Shams means a sun, so Shamsi group, and that is because they have taken Sheen as the standard letter to represent this group. Okay, so this group, the qamari group, has been represented by the letter qaf. Okay, and over here, this group, the ones that possess this capability, has been represented by the letter sheen. Okay, so that's why this group is called qamari group. Okay, and this group is called shamsi group, and therefore all these letters are called qamari letters, and all others that are not in this mnemonic are called shamsi letters. And if you translate it into English, we have the moon letters. You'll find all kinds of variations based on this classification. So you'll have moon letters and sunny letters, and all different kinds of versions. So but the basic concept is that which group, or the which letter has the lam silencing capability, and that is the actual concept behind this classification uh, between the sunny group and the moon group, or the shamsi group and the qamari group. Okay, so this is the concept. So if you know this concept, great, awesome. All right, so we are done with this lesson, and so we know why this thing happened here, because the word shay'un begins with sheen, and sheen is not present in the mnemonic that we have just learned, which is haq ka khaf ajab gham hai. So since it is not present in that group, we are simply going to we are going to be sure that yes, this sheen is going to silence this lam, and therefore we're going to attach this hamza, okay, directly to the first letter of the word it is meant to be attached on. So ash-shay'u, that's how we get landed with it. Similarly, assalamu, because seen is not present in haq ka khaf ajab qam hai, And now let's study a couple of examples over here. So we have al-waladu here, al-waladu. Now the letter waw over here is, let's see if it's present in that list or not. So we have haq, ka, khaf, khaf. So we have waw over there. Okay, so waw is in that group. It is a qamri letter, so that means that it is not going to that is not going to silence the lam. Therefore we have al-waladu, al-walada, al-waladi. Next, we're done with this. Ash-shay'u, ash-shay'a, ash-shay'i. And then we have as-salatu. Why so? Because let's see, we have sad, that is attached, that is the first letter that al is going to attach to, and let's see if sad is present in the mnemonic that we know. So we have haq, ka, khaf, ajab, qam, hai. No, it's not present in that group. So we know that it is a shamsi group, shamsi letter. And what do shamsi letters do? They hide away this lam. So we have as-salatu and not al-salatu. Okay, so we have hayya ala salah and not hayya alal salah. Okay, even you can feel it yourself, because when you're saying it, you feel that saying hayya ala salah is easier than saying hayya alal salah. See, so uh, that's what. Anyway, so we have as-salatu, then as-salata, as-salati, it means prayer. And then we have an-nisa'u. Why do we have an-nisa'u? Now, this is a word that many people mispronounce, and it aches every time I hear it. Okay, that was a bit dramatic. Anyways, so an-nisa'u, we have the letter noon. Let's see if it's present in that mnemonic. Haq, ka, khaf, ajab, gham, hai. No noon over there. So that means it's again a shamsi letter which has the capability to silence this lam, and therefore this hamza is going to get attached directly to this noon. So we have an-nisa'u and not al-nisa. Okay. Uh, Here in Pakistan, a lot of people say Al Nisa, Al Nisa. No, it's not Al Nisa, it's An Nisa. Okay, An Nisa. Similarly, An Nisa'a, An Nisa'i. So we have An Nisa'u, An Nisa'a, and An Nisa'i. The women, the women, the women. The meaning remains the same. It's only uh, the change in the in the Arabic form. Okay. So, well, this is it, the end of the lesson. And the next lesson is about how to join two words together that have an al between them. So, let me just give you an example. For example, in Surah Al-Baqarah, we have Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal Kitabu. So, we have Zalikal, Zalikal, Zalikal Kitabu. So we know this word now. Okay, so this is al kitabu, okay, the book, but we do not know how come we recite it as zali kal kitabu. Okay, where did the sound of this alif go? This is what we are going to cover in the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. And well, in the meantime, while you're still not while you haven't yet watched that video, the parts lesson 4c, I'm going to ask you to recite the Quran Pak a bit more consciously now, so that you're aware of what you're reciting. The Mus'haf, of course, is filled with examples such as these and these. Okay, so just be wary. I mean, just be careful and be attentive while you're reciting. It's going to help you a lot, and it's going to make recitation even more pleasant, I would say. I mean, it's recitation is awesome, it's amazing, but if you know what you're reciting, and these tiny little things that we have started to study, and then inshallah we'll build the entire foundation, and then build all those skyscrapers on it, then inshallah ta'ala, the experience of recitation is going to be a revolutionizing one. It's going to be amazing. It's something that simply cannot be put into words, and therefore I'm unable to put it into words for you guys. So start off with this, and whatever you learn here, try and implement it attentively during your recitation, and even after that, you see, try and do it, because you're going to feel amazing, inshallah. Okay, so barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al Hakim, and inshallah ta'ala I'll see you in the next lesson, where we are going to cover how two words are connected, okay, with one word having al on it. Okay, so Allah Hafiz and all the best.